they were doing this burn off, it went wrong, and they've been instructed to go to safety zones.
They had a little saw work to do.
They've got those lines up in there. That's still not impacted yet. I just we have to fall back to that tree check. What I'm seeing right now is yes. If it doesn't.
Winds are 10 to 12, gust to 15 out of the north-northwest. Probability of ignition 60% under heavy smoke. Many comes.
Yeah, that's the one they were talking about was coming. We're getting out of it. We got pulled out to our safety zone. Car came up over the ridge. And we're getting out.
Swirls coming up.
Nice and easy.
Red. Look at the embers.
Those are the fireballs.
Yeah.
Close windows.
It's gonna go across.
Keep coming.
It's gonna come across.
Fireballs? That's what my dad's talking about. When he burned down.
Jake, Councilman on 11.
Yeah, keep going out towards the first spot. I'm walking out. I see you.
Copy that.
Wow.
Oh.
This is gnarly, dude.
Yep. Losing visibility.
Hey, Danny.
Oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks.
Hey, Ken. I'm going to make a recommendation to you guys that you continue all the way back out, go past the initial safety zone, and come further out.
Look at that. It's fire whirls.
Copy that. I'm going to wait for the engine up top here. We're in the process of getting out right now. Member cast, if you guys can please make this happen, it'd be much appreciated.
Let's go.
Check Councilman on 11.
Go. What? Are you serious right now? Get ready to play this thing. What the hell?
Too far, dude.
Hold your breath.
I'd like to see you come out so you find me. Keep coming.
Copy. We got one engine that's trying to back out of here, and he's holding up the program here.
Dude, dude, we're gonna get hit.
If you have a chance to actually see Zulu, tell them I'm recommending you guys come further out than the initial safety zone.
We're still good. We're still good. It's just hammer cash. We're good.
Keep an eye on the
Yeah.
keep an eye on the windows.
I got you.
Windows.
Yeah, no, I got you. We're still good right now on the windows. They're not getting too hot. We're just getting the amber cast right now.
Hey, can I get a full count of resources on Zulu now, please?
351 to 321.
Look to the left side. You see that? This is engine 253. It looks like the north side is starting to burn. There we go. We got some daylight. There we go. We're good. We're getting out.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Keep going. You can slow down. I've lost visibility. Keep going. No, stop. I can't see. I can't see shit. Okay, go, 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 go. I can't see either. Okay, I'll stand by, stand by. Stand by. I can't see shit. I don't know where we're at. 79 Charlie, 219 on tack. All right, hold up. Just hold up. Hold on a second.
Hey, just go ahead and hold back.
Okay.
I'm going to have you go up here and give me some additional lines.
Go ahead, go forward.
It's not looking too good.
Forward a little bit.
Just hang back. If you happen to see the city guys.
Forward a little bit. No, you got room on this side. You got room on this side. You got room on this side. Keep going. You got about a good 6 feet. You see it right here?
No, I can't.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going the direction you're going. Keep going the direction you're going. Keep going. Okay, you got to clear an opening a little bit to your left. Your left. Left side. Left side. Left side. Left side. Left side.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go now. Come on. In the buggy. Buggy to the left. Right here.
Let's stay
Hey.
here.
Now get inside. Yeah. Get inside our buggy. Tools packed and everything. Windows closed.
The problem we're having is the engine that was not able to turn around. That's what's holding us up. And the visibility, of course. But we're getting daylight, and it's burning here, but it's a lot of black here. So that's good. So luckily we burned this out. So the flames aren't good. The heat's coming up, the wind, it's breaching, but the flames aren't coming up. Now what we have to do is get out before the flames come up on that side. Which we will.
All right.
Okay, I'll stop it there just in the interest of time, but wow, what's going on there, hey? Observations, what do you guys see as some sort of, some items to talk about there? Michelle?
Well, the main issue is most of the trucks in the very beginning weren't pointing the right direction.
Okay.
Which caused them trouble all the way because one vehicle was having to back up, couldn't turn around. It's a narrow spot that they were trying to egress out.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other thoughts on that in terms of apparatus placement, maneuvering? I mean, did you see the topography there, the steepness? I mean, we've all been on fires like that. Like just trying to maneuver an engine in that. Like, so again, getting it right and positioning that apparatus is absolutely critical. Anything else? Did you notice the time of day? We'll talk more about this in entrapment avoidance, but what time of day was that? 16:30-ish, so during peak burn period? Yeah? Yeah? What else in that video?
People.
Sorry, Matt.
Why were they there? Did they have proper safe zones? Did they have a lookout? Did they know what part of it was being?
Yeah, and again, we don't know. I mean, like, and we're not here to critique. It's just like, what I want you guys to take away from that is just like in that engine company environment, like in that sort of condition, maneuvering your apparatus to a safety zone. That safety zone was what? Was 2,000 feet, 700 yards? And they hadn't even, like, that was in real time, and they hadn't even got there yet. So even though during the field day, we're going to drive our escape routes, we're going to drive to our safety zones, you know, it's probably going to be a nice sunny day, roads will be dry, perfect visibility, take us X amount of minutes. How about that? We should time it out, how long it takes to drive on a dirt road 2,000 feet. I mean, we're up to like 8 or 9 minutes, and they still haven't even got there yet. So I mean, again, these are things you need to be aware of. And again, if you're seeing it, but things aren't happening, you got to avoid that groupthink and communicate that up to your task force leader. Just a couple things I noticed too on the comms, on a couple deployments I've been on. The more hairier the situation gets, the more people talk on the mics, please and thank yous. I'd really appreciate it. This is the time for absolute calm discipline. Okay, so just try to be conscious of that. Avoid I appreciate, like, yeah, we get that, but let's keep the air as clear as possible. Okay? Anything else? Any observations on that from you, Chad?
No, I think it's, go ahead, Matt.
Is there a push towards getting more of the like type 3, 4, 5, 6 engines on these fires and less of the type 1 structural engines, just for these reasons, getting the maneuverability, all that capabilities on that?
I'll let Kim address that from the BC Wildfire momentarily, but I mean, from a structural, like municipal thing, what you'll find in deployments is like people are kind of sent in, as long as they meet the interagency guidelines, we're getting a mixed mash. I mean, you get everything under the sun if it actually corresponds to the requirements, but you could have a task force, be in a task force of type 6s, type 1s. I mean, I had that one out to Bat-Mooney Lake, I had Vancouver Engine 7. Like, Jack, isn't that like one of the busiest stations in Vancouver? Engine 7? Yeah. Yeah, it's going out in Bat-Mooney, 120 clicks down a logging road, and then I've got like a barrier tender and a bush truck. I mean, like, so I mean, it's a mixed mash. But the question was, is BC Wildfire potentially looking at more of like a Cal Fire type model of type 3? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I'm wondering if we're requesting the bush trucks first rather than the structural engines.
So I think what we're doing is when we put in a request, we're looking at the incident we're dealing with, and then we'll size up and determine, okay, we need so many of whatever configuration. Where it comes into the placement of these resources depends on what the operational tactics are for that incident. So we shouldn't be taking a Type 1 engine and putting it in the middle of a logging show somewhere and expecting it to be successful, because that's just not what that piece of apparatus is designed for. So it's knowing what the apparatus can do, and that's where the structure people come into the picture, is that communication and knowing, hey, so we want to protect this value. Yeah. What have you got in your arsenal that you've brought here that can do that for us without compromising firefighter safety? Because the way they do it in the States is different. They run engine companies on everything they do from the wildland side of things, because the municipalities or counties or whatever, that's the way they're set up. We in BC are not, and that's where we rely upon your expertise as structure firefighters to tell us, yeah, we can send that down there and we'll be okay. And the same token, you should be telling us, you know, I'm not taking that Vancouver Type 1 engine down Carmi Logging Road, and it's not something that's going to be successful, so why are we doing it? So it's the tactics and strategy that'll determine what it is that we're going to be using and where we're using it.
Just on the flip side of that, like in the true interface, in my experience on a few fires, we go to an area like a neighborhood that has municipal water supply. We lose water supply due to power outages or the reservoirs go dry. Okay, so we're protecting structures like a normal residential subdivision on the interface. We're out of water. And a type of truck, like for example, that I've saved my butt, certainly at Christie Mountain, is like a pumper tender. We don't even have a proper category for that. It's technically a Type 1, I guess. But I mean, it's a Type 1 engine with at least 1,000 GPM pump, 4 guys on board with SCBA, 2,500 gallons of water. I mean, is that going to be applicable out in the intermix or in rural areas? Absolutely not. But does it work in the very specific situation that I just identified? Yeah, it saved houses for sure, guaranteed. So it's like Kim's saying, the right tool for the operation at hand.
Yeah, because conversely, if I have a hydranted water supply and I'm choosing anchor and hold as my tactic, I don't want a Type 6.
Yeah.
I don't have pump capacity, I don't have the ability to throw water, so I think no matter where we respond in the province, we're going to have a mixture of both interface and intermix, and we have to apply the right tool to what we're dealing with at the time.
Greg's got a question?
Just in that example there was at least 3 different types of resources there. So you got to factor that in. They're all going to travel at different speeds. So there was a dozer walking out that's going to be extremely slow. 20-person helitack crew, so they don't have a vehicle. They're on foot. Yeah. And then the engine. So that's going to, you got to factor that into your engine, because that could affect that, right?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. Yeah, in the task force context, absolutely. You get different resources, yeah, different agencies potentially. What about the PAR issue, personal accountability issue, with one engine missing somebody? as an engine boss, how do you deal with that? Like I don't know if it was dealt with actually. It didn't really. I think they made radio comm. I'm not really sure. I probably need to watch that video a dozen times and maybe get some intel on that. But like, as an engine boss, what's your ultimate responsibility?
Your crew.
Yeah. So knowing where your crew is at all times, right?
No
and like,
man left behind.
if they get out of your span and control for whatever reason, is getting them back into it ASAP, right? And it goes back to laces. What's the C in laces? Communications. Okay. So yeah, again, not to critique, but just to learn from and observe. I think there's some great stuff in that video that hopefully will keep us safer out there. I know I'm going way too long here, so I'm going to get into just some last couple things here. Power lines and the interface. This photo here is Bear Creek, 2016. It's one of our fires, West Kelowna. We have a bit of a Charlie Foxtrot here with apparatus positioned. Lots of lines there. That's me. I actually ran into a problem with power lines on that fire, which I won't get into, but yeah, thinking back to that first video we saw from Tennessee, the lines, like when you lose visibility and there's heat involved, and it's really easy to get into these situations. So again, some safety around power lines and the interface. Always assume the line is active. This is basic electrical safety stuff. Even when the hydro companies will tell incident command, at least in my experience, that the lines have been, like the big transmission lines they've been shut down. Apparently there can be residual energy in those lines. So there could still be however much energy kind of moving around in those lines, even though the power's been cut. So treat everything like it's energized. Okay, we all know from basic 1001 stuff, avoid applying water to power lines, poles, or service boxes. Okay. Heavy smoke, water, retardant can all be conductors of electricity. Okay, so electricity will actually try to go to ground through carbon, so be aware of that. Small spot fires under under transmission lines, you can action because there's not typically enough smoke, but be cautious of that. Stay at least 100 feet away from any fire that's involving high transmission lines. Okay, ditto for hazmat again, just because it's in the wildland urban interface intermix. Our hazmat skills as structural firefighters don't disappear. So use your emergency response guide to identify stuff you need to. Follow all your hazmat protocols. If you have binos on your engine, you see like for example, in the smoke, does that look like there could be some haz in there? Probably. So stay back. Avoid. Just follow your standard hazmat stuff. But in the kind of rural areas, you could get agricultural products. I know we've all been on fires where we've come across people cooking stuff in the backwoods, like clandestine drug labs. So again, none of that stuff goes away. It's just, it may present itself in a very different way when you're out in the interface intermix. So again, watch your smoke, watch for telltale signs around structures like drums, chemical containers, agriculture, et cetera, et cetera. So in summary, obviously the interface can be very complex. We all know that values, homes, whatever, as much as we don't want to lose them, they're just another type of fuel. They can be replaced. And the key takeaway from this session is defend structures only when it's safe to do so. If you can't do it safely, you've got to get out. Any questions or comments? No? Okay, thank you.